I never really planned that it would be a lifetime experience, but I'm awfully glad it is. It grew.
We're delighted that we can finally do this.
A long time coming, huh?
Yeah. And we're not even breathing hard. Yes, we are. My name is Lyman Hollowell. I'm 93 years old.
And I'm John Dapper, and I'm 83.
John and I met on August 14th of 1945. And so far, we have not parted. Most of my life I've been a film editor. Here I am in the editing room with Bill Reynolds, who is a famous editor. We're working on a picture called Love is a Many Splendored Thing.
For the 40 years of my career, I've designed sets for film, motion pictures. I have also worked as an art director in film and motion pictures. I've worked as a designer for theatrical productions on Broadway. Lyman worked as a special photographic effects editor, and I worked as a set designer on this particular film. Our careers are both quite different. I'm usually at the beginning of the production and he's at the end, and so I can tell him what's going to happen.
Being gay in my early years was very difficult.
The following Saturday, they went fishing together. By now, they were using first names. Ralph said it was more friendly. What Jimmy didn't know was that Ralph was sick, a sickness that was not visible like smallpox, but no less dangerous and contagious. You see, Ralph was a homosexual.
The stigma of being gay was so enormous.
One never knows when the homosexual is about. He may appear normal, and it may be too late when you discover he is mentally ill.
If we went out in public, we were careful not to display affectionately.
The studios were terribly anti-gay.
We were not accepted by society.
Gay bars were always subject to surveillance by the police, and there was entrapment by authorities, policemen, and incarceration.
It was a time of caution.
It was long before Stonewall, a long time before Stonewall, that we never told anyone. We never told our parents. They wouldn't have truly understood the depth of our relationship. There was a great change with the Stonewall Revolution.
And it really did start the gay world working toward their rights and recognition.
In 1945, I got a summer job at 20th Century Fox in the mailroom.
I was working in the film library. When I met Johnny, it was VJ Day, the victory over Japan and the end of the war.
It's official. It's all over. Vast throngs of grateful, happy people celebrate the end of fighting, the dawn of peace.
They closed the studio, so the group of us in the mailroom decided that we would go out and party. And we drove down to Santa Monica to a drive-in to have a hamburger. Wow, I thought he was kind of a nice-looking guy. I thought he was kind of cute. See, I liked older men.
He had a nice build and nice smile and all of the things that go to make up a good-looking man.
While we were at the restaurant, I suddenly had a recollection that I was having a dinner party at my house in Hollywood. Just before I left, I said to him, if you would care to join us.
Well, my heart started going flippity-flop because I was attracted to him, and I was glad to be asked.
We did not get to my house until about 8 o'clock at night. My guests were all sitting around.
I was invited to spend the night at his house, and although originally I had a bed to myself, before the morning was completely out, I was not alone, shall we put it that way. I had a surprise visitor during the night.
Well, I just couldn't let it go that, I had to make my feelings known. It was okay. And fortunately for me, it didn't end up a one-night stand.
After that first night together, we were practically inseparable.
I knew that I enjoyed being with him, and we were compatible. A month and a half after we had met, I moved in with Lyman.
Before I got together with Johnny, I had some good times, but I just felt that life really started for me after we got together. And
Well, it was sharing. It was a sharing experience.
Sharing.
It's really kind of nifty.
Before that, I was living, but not fully, just partially. It's like a fulfillment. I really do think monogamy is really rare.
I have picadillos. He has had picadillos. It has never really been a problem in any sense.
They really don't have enough help. There's some truth to that old thing called the 7-year itch. And I think maybe it was more after about 8 or 9 years with us, though. I think this holds true not only in gay relationships, but in straight relationships too, that a man has to find out if he's still attractive to somebody else than he's with all the time. I really do think that. And I think that's what happens in many regular marriages, heterosexuals.
I don't think there were any feelings of jealousy. It was always complete trust.
After a couple of years, pretty much together most of the time, we really kind of became monogamous. We did not seek outside relationships of any kind. We were pretty much wanting only each other, not anybody else. The main thing has not been just the sex, it's been the growing together. And once you realize that, then that makes your relationship better, and the other reasons that you're together become stronger.
Home again, jiggity jig. Gay life together with two people can be just as important as heterosexual love affairs and marriages. I think it would make society much more cohesive. I think it would benefit everything. I think it would benefit education. I can't think of a negative reason for not having gay marriage recognized. I'm very happy with my life. I'm very pleased with my life. I have no regrets for my life. I'm just sorry that there are people who don't understand my life. And maybe this will help them understand that my life is just as complete as their life is or can be.
It is my honor to present this year's male inspirational couple to Mr. John Dapper and Lyman Hallowell.
But I think it's awesome that two men can be together that long. 65 years, that's incredible. It's no different than anybody else.
Life with two people together can be edifying for everybody. Well, principally because I'm so good looking, and he's so rich, and that's we built our whole life on that, on wealth and good looks. It's built on time and trust and interests and friends.
Before we go to sleep every night, we kiss each other, probably several times. And usually he says, "I love you," and I say it too. And sometimes during the day, we get carried away, and I say, "I kind of like you," or something. My advice to younger couples would be to touch each other often, show little signs of desire and affection. Pat them on the fanny or on the head, or sneak a kiss on the neck. Show that you're there for them, that you care. I think it might be a good idea also to think about giving yourself a couple of years before you think of being welded forever.
My relationship with Lyman, it's the same as it always has been. It's firm foundation. And here's a bottle of wine that's open already.
All right.
We can use that.
Okay.
I love him. I care for him. I'll take care of him as long as I'm able. I will support him in every way.
He's just like my right arm, He's part of me. He's my life. I live for him, and I guess he does for me.
My being with Lyman for the time that we have had together has been one of the greatest things that could ever happen. At least for me. Without Lyman's presence, I would not have the life I have.
I just cannot conceive of a life other than with him. I don't want any other life other than with him. My life with Johnny has been ideal. Cheers.
When you do an entertainment feature, whether it is film, television, or on the stage, there is usually a beginning, a middle, and an end. And in our relationship, we haven't done the whole thing yet. We're still creating the book.
At the end of every Hollywood romance movie, you know, they kiss and run off into the wild blue yonder. Well, ours is still going, so we've been in the daisy patch ever since, I guess. Hand in hand, walking down the road, happily ever after.